What is up, everybody? My name's Ethannnrei. I'm a six-figure wholesaler. I've closed 6 deals this year, so I'm closing about one deal a month. And it didn't start out that way. It started out with me grinding in the trenches, doing all the wrong stuff. Maybe not even the wrong stuff. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but making a lot of mistakes, learning from experience, and finally getting my first wholesale check after 9 months. 9 months of grinding, working hard. That's how long it took me to get my first wholesale check. And honestly, if I had the right guidance and somebody truly, holding my hand and telling me what to do, I would have got my first wholesale deal within 90 days, 100%. And probably would have got my first contract within 30 to 45 days if I knew what I knew now and if I knew what I'm about to show you guys. So, to close your first wholesale deal in 90 days is really a three-step process. And this is exactly what I would do. If I was strapped of everything that I knew in wholesaling, and if I was strapped down to no marketing dollars, all I had was my phone and let's say $500 for a deal machine subscription and maybe earnest money deposit for my first contract. This is exactly what I would do. So, the first step is mindset and learning the basics. So, first step is to really develop your mindset. You got to understand that this is not get rich quick. It's a hustle business. You are going to make mistakes. You need to actually learn what wholesaling is, how to get paid, contracts, title companies, etc. So that's really what goes into step one. To dive a little bit deeper into the mindset, you guys got to understand that this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is very hard. It's a skill that you have to learn, but it's very possible. A year and a half ago, I was just a regular kid. I was working a full time job at a grocery store, and I decided to take the biggest risk of my life by quitting that job. I cashed out all my stocks, cashed out all my retirement money I had. I had like just under $10,000 cash in the bank. And I said, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make wholesaling work. And at that point, I was about 5 months into my journey, maybe 6 months. And then from that time, it took me 4 months to get my first check. So I was 5 months in at that time. It took me 4 months to get my first check, and that was on May 31st of 2024. Fast forward to June 9th, 2025, I've generated just under 200K total in assignment fees. And if there's one thing that I could tell you through my experience that could really help your mindset is that nobody got rich without being consistent. Nobody made a lot of money without showing up every day, failing, making mistakes, doing the wrong stuff. They showed up every day. They did what they had to do. They were in the trenches, grinding for months on end, for years on end. And I'm still in the beginning of my journey. I've only closed 14 deals now. I have two closing this month, so I'll be over 15 now in a few short weeks. And yeah, so that's really all I can say about the mindset for now. It's just that you have to stay consistent, and it's going to be hard. Even once you close your first deal, it's still going to be hard. There's so many battles. It's a never-ending battle in this business. Um, and to learn what wholesaling actually is, I would say spend 1 hour on YouTube watching what actually wholesaling is, or you can just do ChatGPT. Honestly, I honestly would recommend that. Um, Go on ChatGPT and type in what is wholesale real estate. Understand the basics. Understand what it actually is, what the process looks like, what it takes to actually close a deal, um, how to get paid, contracts, title companies, etc. What it all means. I would totally understand what wholesale real estate actually is. Because in order to make money, you have to actually know the basics and know what it is. You don't have to spend hours on it. You just have to understand the very bare minimum basics. Step two is build a list. So in this business, it's all sales. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter that it's real estate. It just matters that we're in sales. We're closing sellers. We're closing deals. And in order to close sellers and close deals, you have to have a list. You have to have a list that you're actually actively marketing to. And what I always recommend and what I started out with was driving for dollars. And I always recommend driving for dollars because it's cheap, easy, it doesn't take too much time, and it's a very easy way to build a very valuable list. So again, I would go on ChatGPT and figure out exactly how to drive for dollars. But I will give you guys a quick breakdown. So driving for dollars, you're looking for distressed properties. You're looking for properties that need a lot of work. They have panels missing from the roof. The landscaping needs work. There's junk in the yard. There's trash in the yard. There's clearly signs of distress. People that are living there don't care about the house, and you can tell. A good rule of thumb when driving for dollars is adding 25 properties a day or 175 a week. This is really going to ensure that you have enough people to target each week and you have enough data and frequency to close your first deal within 90 days. Step 3 is you're going to cold call this list. So this is going to be, step 3 is generating leads. So once you've built a driving for dollars list, you can start generating leads. You can start cold calling the sellers. So what I would do is once you have 175 properties, you want to then cold call them. And you want to systemize it. So you want to track all your numbers. You want to track how many calls you're making each week, how many calls you're making every day, how many offers you're making each week, etc., every day, every week. You want to track how many appointments you get, how many offers you're making, all that. You want to track it all. And it's really that simple. It's not easy at all. Like what I'm showing you is not easy. It's very hard. But it's really that simple of 3 steps. The most important part to getting your first wholesale deal is, in my opinion, focusing on one lead generation method, which in this case is going to be driving for dollars, focusing on one marketing channel, which in this case is going to be cold calling ourselves. If you focus on 2 things and you really hammer it and you have enough leads to talk to every day, every week, and you're making enough offers, you can easily get your first deal within 90 days by utilizing this 3-step process. This is my first YouTube video on this page regarding this topic, but my plan is to post a full driving for dollars guide. So please keep your eyes out for that. I'll be breaking down exactly what driving for dollars is, how to identify neighborhoods to target, how to actually find properties, and I will also be doing a full cold calling guide and how to track everything. So keep your eyes open for that. I just wanted to give you guys the quick 3-step process that I would use if I wanted to close my first deal in 90 days or less. I know it's super basic and super not in depth, but if you guys truly do the research on this, reach out to me on IG. I can help you with getting it set up. And, you can even see if you're a good fit if you want to work with me one-on-one. I can for sure guide you and hold your hand. Make sure you have all the scripts, contracts, everything, the whole 9. I will literally hold your hand until you get your first deal. I promise you. And if you don't get your first deal within 90 days working with me, I will hold your hand and work with you until you get it completely for free. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, reach out to me on IG. It will be in the description. And I hope you guys have a good one. I appreciate you watching the video, and good luck on getting your first wholesale deal.